looking at this again, this is Serena Williams, and her new interview. I want y'all to understand about this. I don't have an issue with her dating and marrying who she wants to date and marry, because at the end of the day, that's all these women do. These women are going to be with who they want to be with, okay? No matter how outraged we are as black men, they're going to be with who they want to be with. If they're not with us, they're not with us. That's the plain truth. When y'all go caping for these females, that doesn't mean they're going to love you. That doesn't mean they're going to want to be in a relationship with you. They're still going to treat you the same way. They're just going to, maybe, smile a little bit more. But for the most part, I don't think that black men need an explanation from Serena Williams about who she's dating. We're not looking for an explanation, okay? We don't care that you're on all these magazine covers parading around your child, your biracial child. We're not, we don't care like that, Now you're gonna have some black men who are gonna be upset, and it's probably because they already felt some type of way about black women anyway. They've already felt some type of way, so they're gonna dislike what these women are doing regardless. They're gonna dislike who they're dating regardless. For the most part. But for her to do an interview, because she's been doing a ton of interviews since she had a child, but for her to do this interview, feeling guilty about who she's with, talking about how her and this guy, they talk about black issues, he makes her laugh, you know what I'm saying? Her father is happy that she's with this guy. What's going on, everybody in the chat? Radiant, Allen, Ciao. What's going on? Zargon, that might be facts. There might be facts. And you look at this situation where she made it a point to say, well, my father likes him. She said that her father loves her non-black husband. That's what she said. I may do one about that later. I got in a topic or two about that. Ciao. Maybe I'll do a call in with that. But she made a point in this interview to talk about how her father loved the guy that she's with. Now, this is the same father who they basically tossed to the side. They got new tennis coaches. Serena actually started dating her tennis coach, who ended up leaving her for Maria Sharapova. Yeah, I may do a show like that later on. Ciao. I might make it a call-in show, have people call in and discuss it. I bet some of y'all didn't know that. And she was hurt by that. I think that she was mad at Maria, but I mean, he left you for Maria, But that didn't stop her quest from getting with a white man. She was going to keep it going until she got one. That resilience paid off, because people need to understand. She had stopped dating black men for at least 5 years. She dated the last black dude publicly that she dated, I believe was Drake. And that may have been in it might have been in 2013, 2014 maybe. But that really wasn't a relationship. It was kind of weird because they were, I guess, seeing each other, but they wasn't in no relationship. Yeah, listen. Their father went through a lot to get them where they're at. Richard went through a lot to get them where they're at. And I'm pretty sure he was disappointed. Not that she married this guy, but both of his daughters are dating white men. Serena and Venus, okay? Venus has always been dating white men. I mean, that's just her thing, you know. But she's a little bit more private about it. But, you know, Serena isn't. Serena's a sloppy dater, okay? But she was able to get with this guy, okay? And get pregnant by him and marry him, right? Now, I've seen some females make justifications for why this union happened, you know. And it just doesn't make any sense, because if she could get a marriage proposal out of this guy, you don't think that there were brothers that she could have gotten a marriage proposal out of? Again, like I said, we playing the shoulda coulda game. Again, I have no dog in this fight. I'm not telling her who she should date or who any black woman should date, because these black women are going to date who they want to date. No matter what these women say publicly, they're going to date who they want to date. Shout out to Terry Gates. Said that's for Southern Charm, Jay. All right, Terry. All right. You know, these women are going to be with who they want to be with, man. And I feel like they didn't care what their father went through, because to them, it was a means to an end. They pushed Richard Williams to the side and they got their own coaches. They didn't need them anymore. They had already became successful. They had already became rich. They were already having white men around them. And they decided to just, you know, go in their own direction. So I think, and you know, Richard is old. You know, Richard Williams is old. He not trying to fight with them. He's not trying to fight with the media. You know what I'm saying? But he did a lot for their careers. He did. And I think that they didn't really care about that. So for her to say that her father is happy that she's with this guy, I think she's being a tad bit disingenuous, okay? Your father is good with it because he doesn't want you to be at odds with him. You know, he's doing what a father does. He loves his daughter no matter what. But that doesn't mean that he's real cool with this guy. Like they watch sports together, they hang out, talk about guy stuff or whatever. Whatever father and son-in-laws do, you know? I think she's being disingenuous about that. And there's going to be people who make the justification, but people got to understand that, you know, Serena and her sister have always had a bit of white female envy. Look at how they wear their hair. Look how they present themselves, you know. Serena tries to come off as being goofy on social media. You know what I'm saying? Going around in public trying to teach white people how to twerk. I mean, at some point, you have to look at it's getting to a clownish level. Like, you really want that white acceptance. And again, exactly, like Richard, he's not trying to argue and fuss with them. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to keep his family together, as much together as possible, you know. And I just feel like, you know, I just feel like her saying that her father really loves this guy, I just think that's disingenuous. Shout out to Lionel Bogan. He says, just dropping some love, fam. Keep the balance going. I appreciate that, Lionel. Make sure y'all like the video. Now, when it comes to black issues in the black community, you know, the women like her who get into these interracial relationships, they always have to overcompensate for their blackness. You got brothers that do it too. You got brothers who get with white women and they got a dashiki on. They talking about black economics. They're talking about white supremacy, but they laying up with a white woman. Like, you got that goes on, man. I'm not gonna say it doesn't go on, because it does. You got hypocritical brothers. I'm not gonna say there isn't any hypocritical brothers, you know? Shout out to Empty Wallet. But what I'm saying is, like, these sisters go above and beyond. You got sisters on this platform who literally have said that their preference was white men, but they're making videos about white supremacy. How can you make any type of, how can you make any type of justification of that? How can anybody make any rationale of that? You literally saying your preference is white, but then you're getting on social media saying that you want to talk about the injustices of black people and white supremacy and how black men shouldn't be dating interracially, even though your preference was to date interracially. Those type of people irk me. Like Van from TMZ. I bet, man, nobody at TMZ probably swirls more than Van. Van Lathan. You know what I'm saying? Van Lathan probably be swirling like a mother. Yeah, I don't think she's done much for Compton, but I don't think that's her goals. Her goals was to get that biracial baby. I don't care who doesn't like what I'm saying, but she wanted biracial offspring. Why do you think she's parading that baby on all these different magazine covers and all these photos? People aren't just saying that just to be saying it. There's some truth and validity to that. But people want to make it seem like we're hating on them, I just don't get how these sisters can date interracially themselves, but because they're talking that pro-black talk, they think they can tell black men who to date. That's the problem. That is the problem. And that seems like the situation. Like with Eve. Eve is married to a rich white man from the UK. But she wants to get on TV and talk about how she's done with Kanye West. I mean, that's got to be some of the silliest, just the silliest, goofiest thing I've ever heard of or seen. Yeah, her dad is definitely old. And, yeah, he's not trying to bicker and argue with her. Eve is getting on TV in a interracial marriage, trying to acting as if she's speaking up for black people. Her predecessor before her was a black woman in an interracial marriage, trying to tell black people how to talk and think and act. I think Eve need to understand her situation. You said that the white man you're with tamed you. He was able to make you into a feminine, docile female. But you want to get on TV and act like you're speaking up for black people. You want to talk about how you no longer want to deal with Kanye West. That's because Kanye has never wanted to deal with you. So I don't get these women who date interracially and marry interracially who want to tell black people what they should do and how they should think. You want to tell black men like Kanye West you're done with them. No, we're done with you. No one would know what Eve is doing if Eve wasn't saying silly shit out of her mouth. And I just did the hypocrisy, because I bet you she talks about Kim K. Now, I don't watch the talk, but if y'all have, I bet Kim K has came out of her mouth. Or, some other white woman who's with a black man, because that's what these sisters do. They have this envy of white women that I think is weird. It's just weird. Make sure y'all like the video. Eve was tamed by a rich white man, but she wants to talk about how she's done with Kanye West because she feels like he's not speaking up for the injustices of black people, the importance of slavery, And I just find that so ironic. This is so ironic. And it's a lot of females like that on social media who date interracially. They tell other black women to date interracially, but they want to tell black people how to think and act and speak. And I just think that these people are nothing more than actors or actresses trying to keep validation from black men. Because no matter how much these women hop the fence, they will always seek the validation of black men. Always. Because they understand that we're their biggest fans. Black men will always be the biggest fans of black women. No doubt about it. We will always be the biggest fans of black women. So they are going to seek our validation no matter if they're with white men. This is why you have Serena doing interviews trying to justify why she married who she's with, talking about she didn't think she would marry a white guy. That is BS. Anybody who listens to Serena, who's seen her dating patterns, I mean, she had really no interest in marrying a black man. She'll date them, but marrying them, no. She didn't want to procreate and have more children that look like her. Those are just facts. And I just want people to understand, when you got these black women and black men who swirl, who are, y'all think are speaking up for you and speaking up for you on your behalf, understand they're doing it for a reason, okay? They're doing it for validation and to keep some type of high social status amongst black people. That's their motivation. But you have black people who will overlook these hypocrites because they're speaking what these people want them to speak on, you know? They're saying what they're saying what these people want to hear. And the harsh truth is, you need to stop looking for validation from white people. You're not going to get it. I promise you're not going to get it.